The NBA world can be described with one word: competitiveness. And the motto of this world is the survival of the fittest. Each and every team needs to adapt in order to keep up with the opponents, and this process is far more complex than it might seem at first. The Golden State Warriors are no exception, and actually evolving is exactly what the Warriors need at the moment. And if you follow my channel, then you know that we were often talking on this topic in my recent videos, trying to come up with the best strategy for next season. But one of the most important factors in building a successful plan is analyzing your competition, and that's exactly what we will do in this video. Today, we will try to predict what Western Conference teams are the biggest threats for Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors' successful run next season. Also, I would really like to hear your opinion, as I'm very curious what you, my dear subscribers, Golden State Warriors fans, and just passing by viewers, think about the Dubs' potential in the next NBA season. Now grab some snacks, get yourself comfortable, and enjoy this video. But before that, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell to get updates on our latest NBA content. Also, feel free to leave in the comments section what else you'd like to see from our videos. Let's keep rolling. As we all know, the Western Conference is no joke, and neither is the Eastern Conference. Actually, as we've seen during this year's playoffs, the East has become much stronger with no easy wins for anyone. But still, there is a reason why the West is considered the tougher conference to play in among the two, and that is exactly what the Warriors are going to deal with next season. There are a lot of solid teams in the West, and I've made a list of the toughest opponents for the Dubs next year. We will go one by one. Number 1, the Phoenix Suns. This team has a lot of chances to bring the NBA title home this month and would certainly become a huge roadblock on the Warriors' way to the championship next year, with Devin Booker leading the charge. Chris Paul is also unlikely to leave, as well as DeAndre Ayton, who has been the most consistent player in this playoffs. The future is bright for the Suns, and their previous record against the Warriors proves that it won't be a piece of cake for the Dubs to get a W over Phoenix. In the 2020-2021 NBA season, those two squads met 3 times in the regular season, where the Suns took the upper hand in 2 out of 3 games, with both games being blowout wins, and the third game being pretty close, especially in the fourth quarter. First and foremost is the fact that the Phoenix Suns have almost a complete squad against the Warriors. Chris Paul and Steph Curry have a long history of battling numerous times during both the regular and postseason all those years. Nobody among the 29 other teams in the NBA knows Steph Curry as well as CP3 and vice versa. Add to this the fact that even at 36, Chris Paul's playmaking abilities are at its peak, which is proven by the Suns' stellar performance in this year's playoffs and a solid position in the regular season. CP3 makes everybody around him significantly better, adding the much-needed veteran presence to the young squad. Devin Booker is thriving under Chris Paul's mentorship, and by acquiring a veteran guard, the Phoenix Suns have fixed their biggest issues from last season with a lack of wing playmaking and off-ball movement. Coming off their hot streak in the bubble last season, the Suns have found their formula to success after acquiring Chris Paul, and there is no doubt that this matchup will be tough for the Warriors. Also, it would be a great matchup for us, the fans, with a classic showdown between Stephen Curry and Chris Paul, Klay Thompson versus Devin Booker, and James Wiseman versus DeAndre Ayton. What a game we'll have. Number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. One name would be enough to at least mention the purple and gold team in this list: LeBron James. You don't want to underestimate the man who is in the GOAT debate, even though he is turning 37 this year. Yes, this season was a harsh one for the Lakers with all the injuries and overall fatigue after their successful finals run last year, and health would be the most important factor in this potential matchup between the Dubs and the Lakers. However, the biggest, pun intended, thing the Warriors would have to overcome facing the LA squad would be their size. With Kevin Looney being the Warriors' tallest player at 6'9" and the only true center in the Golden squad, it will be a difficult task for the Warriors to compete against one of the deepest and tallest teams in the West. Not only do the Lakers possess a physical advantage over the Dubs, they also have something the Warriors only dream about: a player like Anthony Davis. Overall, the Lakers are massive, and the Warriors just lack the resources to counter them. The Golden State Warriors will have to do all they can to get the boards against the game's finest rebounders in Drummond, Davis, and Harrell, since the size differential will be the most noticeable in rebounding. I think that this matchup would be the toughest one for the Warriors next season in its current state, and I think that the Golden State Warriors should do their best to get the much-needed stretch big to counterplay not only the Lakers, but all the other teams in the Western Conference, let alone the whole league. Number 3. The are not an exception. The Clips also won't back down playing defense with the defensive maestro Kawhi Leonard and one of the top guards defensive-wise in Patrick Beverley. Yes, it would be one more Curry versus Pat Bev matchup, and we all would be on the edge of our seats every time Beverley comes to Stephen Curry. We will see whether Patrick was right when he told Steph that the next 5 years are going to be his. 3 years have already passed, and we are still waiting, Beverley. And sure, it is worth mentioning that the Clippers have the best three-point percentage among teams in the league, and the returning Klay Thompson would have to do his best to defend against the prominent young guard Reggie Jackson. We will also need Andrew Wiggins to step up and hold up to his Mr. Consistent moniker, guarding either Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. This matchup would be a massive problem for next year's Warriors squad unless they get an additional superstar to help the Splash Brothers and others. Overall, there are not that many teams that might find an answer for the Golden State Warriors in case they have a successful offseason. As we have analyzed in my previous videos, there are things that Warriors management should seriously address in order to make things go the way they want. And that is acquiring solid shooters, preferably superstars to help Stephen Curry, getting a versatile big man who ideally would be a stretch 4 for the Dubs, getting a true center to solidify the paint in both offense and defense. Those are the most important things the Golden State Warriors management should address before next season starts. We still do have exceptional players like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, and all we need to do is give those guys the best conditions so they can show the league the OG Championship Warriors squad. And what is your opinion? Do you think that those teams are the biggest roadblocks on the Warriors' way to the title next season? If not, what teams do you think are a bigger threat for the Dubs? How would the Warriors beat them? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I would be very glad to see your opinion. Stay tuned for more NBA videos, and once again, make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching.